Hello, Minecrafters and Redstoners. I'm Natanis Likens, and today we're just going to do a little short and take a look at the moss farm that I just kind of slapped together. Uh, I didn't follow any tutorials on this. I built these before based on other people's tutorials, and I decided I was just going to like dive in and build my own because I have a need for moss. We'll show what the moss is going to be for much later. I've still got to design everything else that goes with that. But yeah, this is our moss farm, and it's kind of based on the same principles with making stone. Only I went with the whole idea of doing 8 stone generators instead of the typical 6 that is associated with some of these farms, and you can see the redstone behind. We've talked about this redstone before, and it looks like it's about to be night. That figures. Uh, yeah, hang on. Let me sleep away the night real quick. All right, so now that we've got the daylight back out, let's quickly go over this. You've seen me make this system before for our piston pushers, but I figured we'd just go over this one more time. This is not exactly the same setup, however, the principles of it are the exact same. So we got a block here on a sticky piston with a lever here, so this pushes it up, that way it can carry the signal around for our repeater timer. We got a bunch of repeater timers here all set to 4 ticks. That way there is a little bit of a delay on it. And we've got a button right here to start the entire process. I would like to move that somewhere. That's where it's residing for now. It's a little too close to our build here, but that's fine. Anyway, so as you can see, the redstone signal circles around here, and every time it gets to this block, it is also shared into this redstone system right over here. And starting off, it's going to hit this, as you just saw, and let's just go over to this piston first. So the signal is going to carry through to these repeaters here, to that redstone dust, and to this repeater, causing this piston to push the redstone block across. At the same time, it's going to go through this line over here and over to this piston, which normally would cause this piston to push. However, we need one piston at a time to push. That is what these two lines here are for. And as you can see right now, it is attached to that one, so let's just follow what this line does. So when this line gets powered on, it comes over here to this repeater, locking that repeater, meaning it cannot be powered on. So this piston will not get pushed when that redstone signal hits this, and typically this one will turn on first. Now, when that happens, that repeater right there is unlocked, allowing this piston to push the redstone block back across, which then powers this repeater line going into our piston pushers for the stone generator. At the same time, it goes down into this line, and remember that redstone block is there, so this line is completely powered on, and it locks this repeater. So basically what happens is one of these pistons is going to be locked, the other one's going to be unlocked and allowed to push, causing the redstone block to get pushed back and forth with each pass of the signal. Now, originally, for the rest of the system on the backside that we were getting ready to talk about, I had the signal coming off of here, going back into our moss generating system. That didn't actually work, so I ended up moving it back here. So every time the signal gets passed around and causes one of these pistons to push, it's also going to power all of the moss related stuff in the back there. So little change there. It does mean we should be generating moss a little bit faster than we are generating stone. Doesn't seem to matter. It actually works a lot better. I was having a lot of issues with having it up there. Not very important. I just thought I'd clarify why this is over here. Um, in case anybody like tries to duplicate this, it doesn't work that well coming off of that line. You actually need to go back and grab it off somewhere in the back. So next up, so it goes through this line here, and as you can see, it powers on all of this. We had to do a little bit of work with the order of operations on this. So the first thing that I actually wanted to happen is have these pistons pushed down to break anything that's on top of the moss blocks there. So that's the first thing that happens. Technically, water's a little bit quicker. The second thing that actually happens is we got a line of redstone here, and as you will see, there are trap doors down there. So the trap doors open, and they push out they allow the water to run off to the edge there, flushing the entire system. And we actually had to do a little bit of trickery here, so this line is always on, meaning that those trap doors are always closed. And that's this portion of the system. Now, the next thing I needed to have happen is the water needed to be gone and the pistons needed to be retracted in order for the dispensers to dispense bone meal onto the moss. So we got a little bit of a delay back here with all of these repeaters. And this goes back first into this dispenser here, and then the line continues around over to the other dispenser. Now, I actually had to change this a little bit because I didn't realize I built this right in the way. So that's why we got kind of an odd direction that this goes. We probably could have made it a little bit cleaner doing other things, but it's fine. It works. But yeah, that's how the entire system works. And as you can see, we just spend a little bit more time watching it. You'll see that we get the water, it pushes that out. Pistons break anything that's on top of the moss, and then the dispensers dispense bone meal, causing the moss to grow, and just continuously cycles like that. And it works really well. I really wish I could get the stone generator to be a little bit faster, but I've noticed issues with all variations of stone generators that if you try to run them too fast, they don't work properly, despite other users making that kind of system and saying it works great at this speed. Not all the time, no. So I actually had to make that a little bit slower. But yeah, that's that. And then we got the collection system on the back side there. Let's just see if we can get over here. And you can see right here we have a filter set up that is grabbing all the moss out of there. That's the only thing I want to keep. The rest of it goes down into this composter and turns it into bone meal. I've ran this overnight, and we've got a little bit less than half a double chest of bone meal. So it is not producing enough to actually keep the system flowing for an extremely long time. You will have to refill it at some point, which is fine. Not a huge deal. We got bone meal being made everywhere because I use a lot of bone blocks and everything. And then over here, we got the moss being collected. And surprisingly, we didn't actually get that much moss. We got 3 double chests and a little over half of a fourth. So I'm kind of surprised by that. I figured it'd make a little bit more, but yeah, it is what it is. Eventually, this will fill up, and eventually, once that happens, all the moss will actually. We put some overflow protection in here, so as you can see, this is the line that carries the moss down. And as it fills up all these chests, it filters down to the next one, to the next one. So we got a little bit of overflow. It feeds into this hopper, which then will feed it into the composter, and we'll get more bone meal that way. But yeah, that's my own personal moss farm that I made. And really, the only reason I really wanted to show this is because I feel like something's happening. Uh, Doing redstone like this before, I would typically just follow a tutorial. And in this particular case, I didn't. I just kind of slapped it together last night and surprisingly works very well. We had to figure out a few bugs and like where to actually place things, but I'm really surprised at how well this works, considering it's something that I didn't brainstorm. I didn't sit there in a creative world and try to work it out. I just kind of slapped it all together and we got a moss farm. So yeah, something's weird with me. Like my redstone knowledge has like quadrupled and my ability to build simple contraptions has just exploded. I kind of wish that would also happen with my building skill, but so far nothing there. And on that front, our Minecraft series Through the Rift, I have plans for season 2. We'll see what happens there. Some real life things are kind of in the works. I don't know when I'll have time to actually start recording season 2. I do have plans, and I was thinking about, getting Keira Knightley to voice a character. She's got range. And if you got that joke, congrats. And I'll see you guys next time on Through the Rift. Bye for now.